Today I'm going to be making a recipe from my favorite restaurant. It's a place called Meadowlark. It's in Centerville, Ohio, which is kind of where I grew up. They use a lot of local ingredients. They do a lot of organic food. So they have different cuisines, a lot of American things like that. But anyway, one thing they make is a roasted cauliflower. I've actually never had it from there. I've had similar things. I'm sure it's delicious. I love this restaurant. So if you want some great roasted cauliflower that's very easy to make it with me. So it said to just cut these into 1/2 inch slices. So I'm not really going to stress too much about it. We're just roasting them. So I'm not going to worry too much about, you know. Mine are going to probably just come apart more into chunks, it looks like. I've never really cut cauliflower before, so I don't know really how to do it. So I guess they're just going to kind of flake apart like this. Just hold on to it and collect it all. That one's a little bigger than 1/2 inch. But that was a pretty, I'd say that'd be the kind of cut you want, kind of like that. Only not so thin. I mean, not so thick. Let's see if I can go a little thinner with that. You're going to have a lot of this debris, which is all the extra cauliflower stuff. So there's one solid one. I'll throw all that debris over there too. It's the stems you really want to get the chunks of. Like, see how I have that nice chunk of stem? So just do 1/2 inch chunks and keep it together as much as you can for your whole cauliflower. For our baked cauliflower, we're going to need to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. For our roasted cauliflower, we're also going to need 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And I figured, let's mince our own garlic. That's probably going to be a few cloves worth for sure. And the technique with garlic is, if you haven't seen it before on one of my recipes, you just smash it. Use the blade, smash it. That'll help you peel all the skin and everything off, and then you're left with a nice clove underneath. And then I always like to cut off the one part of it. So there we go, there's one. Really helps the skin come off nicely using this technique. You're going to have to do it for a little while too, because you want really tiny thin pieces of garlic. Garlic's usually minced. It's so strong that if you cut it down enough, it kind of helps with its power. So just keep doing that until they're really tiny. I'd say right now we're about halfway there. We probably want them half this size. Now we're going to put this garlic in a little bowl and we're going to mix it with some olive oil. I said 2 teaspoons. Oh, you know what? This probably is 2 teaspoons right here. If you had minced it more, it would take up even less room. So there's 1 teaspoon. There's 2 teaspoons. I like garlic, so I'm going to do a little bit more. So about 4 or 5 cloves minced will be enough. Now we need to mix 1/4 a cup of olive oil, extra virgin, which is also 2 ounces of olive oil. I did a little bit more because it says you can use a little more. And here was the interesting part to me. It says 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. So that's interesting. So here's sugar. There's 1/2 teaspoon. Get some more olive oil in there. I would not expect that with cauliflower and garlic. It also says to use 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. I don't have fennel seeds, so I'm going to use anise seeds instead, which have a different flavor. But I'm just going to use 1/2 teaspoon, just so I don't overpower everything with them. And it says to mix that together. Now I'm going to grab all my cauliflower that I cut and we laid out, and then it says to brush this mixture over it. So it really helps if you have a brush, but you can kind of lightly pour it too. I'm going to start with brushing, just so I ensure kind of an even coating. Just brush it all gently. The recipe referred to debris, and I really get what that debris is. It's all this extra crap in there from the cauliflower, because cauliflower breaks apart really easily. So I'm making sure as I brush I'm getting some of the chunks of the garlic. And it says you can use extra olive oil if need be, so I might end up using a little bit more olive oil. Now it says to throw some salt and pepper on them. Season them to your heart's desire. Then pepper, so pepper on there. For our roasted cauliflower, first you roast it covered in aluminum foil. Then you take it off and finish roasting. So I've got my aluminum foil. Make sure I cover it nicely here. So there we go. Once our oven is heated up, we can throw this in for 15 minutes. Now that our oven is at 450, let's get our covered cauliflower in there. It says roast it for 15 minutes. Roasted for 15 minutes. My oven's a little hot, so I might only do 12 or 13. And then you take the foil off and keep roasting it for another 12 or 15 minutes. So, about 15 minutes, let's check on it. Okay, my oven just buzzed for the first 15 minutes on our roasted cauliflower. So, I'm going to take my cauliflower, or my foil off. And then it says go for another 15 minutes. What you're looking for is the stems should be nice and tender, and then the debris, so all the little chunks, should be dark brown and almost caramelized. 15 more minutes. The buzzer just went off for our roasted cauliflower. Oh yeah, it smells great. And if you take it out, you'll see the debris, the little stuff around, is starting to get dark, very dark. And if you take a knife or something and touch one of the stems, you'll feel that they're very tender. So I'm going to get these out, let them cool, and try one. Okay, so here is my roasted cauliflower. That's a brownie. Didn't make that. Also delicious. It smells really good. You really smell the olive oil and the garlic a lot on them. So I'm going to try a little piece. That looks a little darkened. It's good. It's just, to me, it's more of kind of like a plain thing you might eat, like an appetizer or something. You definitely taste the cauliflower. Olive oil kind of evens it out. The garlic's not too strong. My seeds on it aren't too strong, so if you like garlic, add more. If you want more seasoning, throw some pepper or something on it. But otherwise, it's really good and it's really healthy. Cauliflower.